Canadian real estate's going to get cheap in Toronto and British Columbia. That's what's going to happen over the next 2 years. You can mark my words. I said it months ago. If you want a new house that's nice in this state of Rhode Island, you're paying $2 million, period, starting. And if it looks even kind of cool, it's lots of money.
Did you buy it from Purple Bricks? Yeah.
Up north.
Got a good deal. Cracking deal, innit?
You should be able to think your way out of this problem rather than spend your way out. I feel bad for any Canadians going through it. Please keep your hands in your pockets and do not try to buy. What does this mean? What does this mean to you? A couple of guys asked me. What does this mean? It means that the bank will try to recoup money. This is the way they did it in the United States. Basically, all this dirty paper, all these basically non-performing loans, right? If you have a loan, right? You have like a loan. This is a loan, right? This is not a cigarette box. All right? Now, this is money that someone said they were going to pay. No one's paying on the loan, right? But there's still a house attached to it, right? So basically on the house is technically married to this loan. They're going to go snip, no longer a loan. They're going to let certain banks handle certain assets. Now, I would imagine that it would take about, in the modern age of AI, banks are going to pick and choose, and the best banks are going to get their shot at the best properties, the best zip codes and whatnot. But basically they're going to have to hit the streets, make deals with brokers, credit unions, and whatnot, and find new actual buyers with now adjusted prices on these homes. Basically, the prices are going to go down. All right, no one's going to come in to buy the problem is the houses are $4 million that should be $2 million or $1 million. You know what I mean? They're just overpriced by X%. So now they're going to come back down to reality, price wise. Anybody who bought and has been paying their bills is essentially because now their house is worth less. Because when you're driving a $70,000 car that starts selling for $35,000 down the street, well, guess what? You're driving a $35,000 car now. So just kind of understand that. Well, how that plays out, it takes months. But basically, Canadian real estate's going to get cheap in Toronto and British Columbia. That's what's going to happen over the next 2 years. You can mark my words. I said it months ago. Fun fact to know that when these condo developments go up, you can buy. There was a time when one of these humongous 150 unit condo complexes that was basically went belly up right when they were finished, and you could buy 10 of them at once. You could buy like a 10-pack. Really? When I was 20, I didn't have any money, but you could buy the ones that
nuts.
You know where Jackie's Galaxy downtown is?
Yeah.
River Fall,
the water place,
the water place, the mid-century ones, the orange. Those.
Oh.
I could have bought those for $250,000 a piece. They're like $600,000 a piece. They were like 10. You could buy 10 one-bedroom. Like you could have bought a whole floor, and they were like they knew.
But who has?
Nah, I was a bowl when I heard that.
Yeah. We got Ropierre with $25. Yo, Nick, looking to invest in real estate, but don't really want to get a mortgage and try to squeeze money out of renters. Do you know any way about getting property on the cheap via tax deed auctions? Yeah. For context, I live in Texas.
I don't know what the state legislation is, and this isn't financial advice, but some states allow it, some states don't. I used to work for a wholesaler that used to buy 40 houses a year back when that was available. Just because of the boom, it's not as prevalent. People basically pay their bills or make deals before they go defunct. Just because there's nobody out there that owns a house that doesn't know a house is worth a bunch of money right now. But when there's fallout, like what'll happen in Canada, they'll be like the inventory will be. I don't know though. I think that might be that some states are bigger than others in tax sale and stuff like that. But wholesalers, man, guys who are in bandit signs that are doing units near you, what are they looking at? Going to auctions and stuff like that and buying. You can do it just when times are good. People are essentially paying their bills, and that's just kind of something Some states are they don't have any for the seats. No one wants to live in North Dakota and South Dakota and Oklahoma and parts of Texas and middle of nowhere. But, you could be buying a chair in the middle of nowhere, and you could be parking money out there and no one wants to go. So it's kind of just old school, do your research and find out areas that you think are going to pop and have people that go there. Because anybody in the world can go out and spend $50,000 on piece of dens in the middle of nowhere that no one's ever going to buy. And pretend the data shows that 5,000 people move here every day. Make sure you know that for a fact, man. Because, all these... I have 500 units. You have a bunch of pieces of you paid through the nose. And you're not cash flowing. You're just... anybody can accumulate. It's like being like the mayor of a town and who gives a.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people in this market right now, like these Grant Cardone wannabe guys that are just like buying to buy shit. And so it's up to you to sort of, think about your attack, before you I want to buy a bunch of real estate. Like, you want to jump in it? I just like buying undervalued, nice pieces of real estate, fixing them up and moving on. I tend to do okay with that. Buying things that are misrepresented or underdone in good times, and making the most out of the property and moving on, and doing it in a profitable way by doing a lot of the work myself and subbing out what I can cheaply, or if I am trying to pull flips off. But right now it's just a different world. Like where I am, no one's building houses. Only shit houses get. I'm telling you, shit. If you want a new house that's nice in this state of Rhode Island, you're paying $2 million. Period. Starting. And if it looks even kind of cool, it's lots of money. Other than that, you're getting builder grade dog shit. Raised ranch gray for $5.99, $6.99. McMansion farmhouse wannabe with lap streak siding, white with black windows, $9.89, $1,189. Get the out of here.
Cobalt Jack with 20 British pounds recently bought a nice bit of land in northern England. Still pretty cheap in these parts. God bless you. Hey, man.
In northern England?
Northern England.
Did you buy it from Purple Bricks? Yeah.
Up north.
Up north. Got a good deal. Cracking deal, innit?
In Leicester Benson.
Chester Benson Leeds.
Upon there.
Over by the thoroughfare. I've took my MG out.
They have like towns that are like Chester upon
Poddington.
Yeah, something.
Chester upon a pond. It's fun, innit? Go. It's got a cracking motor.
I'm glad.
Congrats, man.
I was watching a video of like, you never guess what, there was these like the Irish Guido chicks that are 10s. You never guess where I'm from, innit?
I follow this one Irish wedding company.
Yes.
And they're all like they're like this color of tan.
Yeah. They got like self tanner 5000.
Yeah, it's nuts. And they're like gyps. They're like there's a gypsy scene. We watched it on PGL.
I gotta see that. I gotta see that in real life.
Go.
But they were like, you never guess where I'm from, and they're from Isle of Man, which is the
Isle
race.
Of Man.
Yeah, I was like,
Isle of Man. That's in between Wales and.
Yeah.
You get yourself a nice one of those Cheeto girls. Take her back to your house in Upper North Leslie Fields.
Very cool flag. Isle of Man.
Really?
Very cool flag.
Oh yeah, it's got four legs.
It's a three-leg thing.
Yeah.
It's like a mythical.
It looks like the window symbol almost, with a couple of panels missing.
Yeah. Drungus $25 makes me happy to see MDE on the success arc.
Yes, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
You never know.
Also,
Or you ski into a tree arc. You just never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Also started HK2. Shouts out, thank you. Looking at going above my initial budget since houses in that range are scarce. Mortgage will be about half my monthly income. Is it worth it?
You're not going to get approved. You're not going to get approved. Yeah, they won't allow it. So you get qualified for that. I'm sure they'll get a little stretchy with you. I'm sure everybody's getting a little elastic these days with something. So I understand that when you're in like the cheapest house in the neighborhood, everybody's looking for that, and I'm a bigger fan of buying more house. Buy weird. So start looking at weirder things or non-cookie cutter things, or hold out just a second. You know what I mean? Or until you feel comfortable, or bump out, change your location where you're looking. But I'm always a bigger fan of spending more on the house. Not too much, but pushing your budget out a little bit isn't a mortal sin with me anyway. My friends who I've told to do it in the past, I've done the phone call 25 times a year for the past 15, 20 years. So with my friends buying houses, and I always say, like, if you bump up a bracket, you don't have as many eyes on it. You know what I mean? Because everybody's like, I want a house for $250. Let's just say that's the number. Yeah. You have like 3,000 eyes on it. If you're like, my budget's not $385, you wouldn't feel the extra $600-700 a month if you can swing it, if you were budgeted down. But if it's half of your income, they only allow 38% of it, so 40%. So be careful. Start looking at weirder houses. Start looking at put your glasses on and look a little harder. Is on it. I know that sounds like I'm trying to be straight with you, but look into the properties, find us something a little bit weirder that needs maybe a little bit of elbow grease that's still financeable. You should be able to think your way out of this problem rather than spend your way out.
No thanks, baby. With $20. Hey, Nick and Chris, I'm an able seaman for Washington State ferries. Will have my mate's license in 2 years, making $100K a year. Puget Sound real estate is nuts.
Yeah, it is.
But a nice 40-foot sailboat is like $140K. What do you say?
Live on a boat? Yes.
Yeah.
Anything to live on a boat. Be a caretaker. Run a rental for a guy, for someone who those. Yes, you can get a deal. You can boat people are the most flexible ever. You don't have to buy a boat. You can live on a boat and maintain it or something. Yes, I would do that 100%. I always talk about it. This is the boat I want to live on. I used to have it down to a science. What the was it?
Go down to Prudence Island. Go down to Prudence Island with have a couple beers.
What the hell was it?
Go to Hog Island.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna. Was it this?
Oh,
Christensen? No, it wasn't a Christensen.
This is a fucking yacht.
This is what I want to live on. Like, these are gonna be
insane.
I'm gonna get this in my life.
I believe it.
I promise.
That's nuts.
Yeah, but you can get these like. How much is this? One's 11, 12 million. No, it's not this one, but this is a really nice. But I want a tri-deck. There's one that's like affordable. That's like 800 grand, and it looks.
The name's gonna be stupid too.
So stupid. Not a princess. A princess is a bad one. That's a cheap one. God, a burger. There we go. 84 burger. Yeah, I knew I'd remember.
It's Berger.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I don't know.
yeah, it's Berger.
Burger.
Yeah, this is like the poor man's yacht. This guy, like you could afford it. Kind of the Christensen's like 12. These are like, yeah, three. You can buy this boat for 800 grand. Trust me, this boat is cheap. You can get them painted and shit. But I looked at one of these when I was 24, and it was 300,000, and it had fire damage. The guy had a grill on it, and he burned the top of the deck, and I could have bought it for like $300,000, and it had a boat crane to crane a tender yacht off. It was dope, but I want this one now.
Cool.